Hey guys, and welcome to Nerdstorm. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
I think that's probably my favorite book out of them all.
Yeah, it's exciting. I know that I love the Harry Potter books, and so this is our first episode ever. We're basically going to be discussing chapter by chapter. You guys can read along if you want. So we already read, or actually listened to, the first chapter of Harry Potter. If you want to join next time, make sure to listen or read the next chapter, chapter 2, by Friday.
Yeah.
Because every Friday we're uploading these. Alright, so let's get straight to the point. My first point was that the Dursleys are very much like wanting a normal life. They're very much toward that. They're like, I want a normal life, leave me alone. And they just had terrible luck.
Yeah, so much for that.
I know, they didn't have, like, of all the people in the world who just want an extraordinary life, they wanted a normal life, and they didn't get it.
Petunia's sister was a wizard.
Yeah, like, they had the worst luck if they wanted a normal life.
Yeah.
And most people don't necessarily want a normal life. In fact, most people I know would be like, yeah, bring it on. I want a witch in the family or a wizard.
That'd be sweet.
But they, obviously,
are complete opposite.
And they didn't get what they wanted, so it kind of sucks for them.
Didn't.
Alright, what do you got?
What I noticed is that Dudley is just a punk. He never stops screaming. Like, out of that whole chapter, he's screaming the whole time.
Yeah, that's kind of expected. And he's so young, too, because he's not that much older than Harry. I think he's a little bit older, not a whole lot older.
Not even a year.
And it's just like, they didn't teach him not to. You'd think normal parents would be like, okay, you don't scream. It's annoying. But no matter what he did, he couldn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, exactly. They treat him like he doesn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, everything he does is right, even if he's screaming. And I'm telling you now that if I have kids someday, they're not going to scream at me. I will not allow it because it's going to be super annoying. Yeah, I mean, I noticed in the first chapter that Mr. Dursley, when he was getting ready for work, he like picks up the most boring tie he could find. He literally like tries to get the most boring tie.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
It's just
Who does that? I mean, I don't know anybody who wants to just be super boring. They want something out of life, and he's like deliberately trying to like pick a boring tie. There's the most boring people in the world.
Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of funny that Mr. Dursley still kind of tries and treats like wizards and witches are not real, but they're actually real. And he already knows that, but like when he sees the cat reading the map, he's like, no, that's not real, and he shakes his head, and then it's not doing it anymore. I thought that was really interesting.
Well, what I was thinking about that, because I read one of your bullet points, and it was that one, and he may know what witches and wizards are, but he might not know that the cat is a witch or a wizard. He was probably thinking, that's just a normal cat. Why is it reading a sign? And he might not even know that much about them.
Animaguses aren't really something that people would talk about.
Right, and I don't think he probably knew about animaguses because I don't think they know much about any of that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. I don't think he knows anything about magic, really. He just knows that they're weird and they can do weird stuff.
Yeah.
I liked when Mr. Dursley was heading to the drill office and he saw all the witches and wizards in robes, and he was like, what is this new young people fashion?
Oh, yeah.
Why are these people dressed up like this? It's some new fashion. And I was like,
that was hilarious.
You know what? We should make this a fashion. Can we do this? Let's all get cloaks and wear cloaks.
We should totally do that.
Like
next episode, let's wear cloaks next episode.
Yeah, how are we going to get cloaks?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I was just like, that is funny that he said that, because I would love to have that as a fashion.
I want a cloak.
Only for winter, though, because a cloak in the summer would be so hot.
Yeah, that would be so terrible.
I would not want that at all. That's a bad idea.
I would want an emerald green one. That's a cool color. I've noticed mostly about Mr. Dursley, he never stops screaming at his coworkers, and I think that's really funny. Yeah. I mean, they can't really change any of his attitude. Even if he's in a good mood, he still screams constantly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand him. He he's all screaming at his employees, and then it's like he was in quite a good mood, and I was like, so he actually enjoys that? Honestly, I don't like screaming at people.
Yeah,
I don't do it very often. I don't understand him. I mean, some of it's realistic to some people, maybe. I don't know. Let us know in the comments if there's someone in your life who likes to yell at people and it puts them in a good mood. Personally, I don't know anybody who would actually want to do that. That's a little bit confusing to me. Now, I noticed that it seems to me that there seems to be a whole lot of wizards in London. And that's really interesting because they're everywhere, he says. As he drives, he like keeps seeing them in the street in cloaks and things like that. So I wonder how many wizards are among us here.
That's true.
How many witches and wizards? Like, of all the people we know, how many people are witches and wizards?
Well, if they can't be people that go to Hogwarts because everybody.
Well, right, but this is America. I'm talking about what's the ratio between American wizards and like European wizards, because there's a lot of wizards there. It's really interesting.
We'll see in the movie coming out soon. We'll see how many are in America, obviously, because it's based on America.
I'm really excited about that, by the way. Fantastic Beasts is going to be amazing. We're going to see all the American, like, New York wizards. So I'm very
excited.
So at one point, when Mr. Dursley gets back, the tabby cat, McGonagall, is still there, and he, like, tries to shoo her away, and all she does is, like, gives him a stern look. So I just can picture that as McGonagall, like, trying to be shooed away by Mr. Dursley.
Go away.
And she's just like, no. That was just a funny picture of mine. I was like, McGonagall was like, what are you doing? Leave me alone.
So I'm wondering, is the shooting stars people shooting spells into the sky, or is that actual shooting stars?
Yeah, I had the same question. Is it real shooting stars, or is that like a firework or something?
Or is there like a really famous wizard, or maybe not famous, but very powerful, that can make shooting stars come down constantly?
Oh, I mean, there might be
a spell.
The thing about that, though, if it was real shooting stars, is it just like going across the sky? Or is it actually, like, hitting the ground? If it was, I think it'd be a bigger news than, ooh, the shooting stars.
Kind of like the owls. I'm wondering why nobody really were... Like, they kind of wondered what was happening, but they didn't go, like... They weren't asking scientists and stuff and all that. So I was wondering, why would they think more about the shooting stars? Because that's more common than owls flying down in the middle of the streets.
Right. It was really interesting because McGonagall was all worried about the Muggles finding out about witches and wizards. And then I thought, what if they did find out about it from their celebrations? That would be a really interesting story.
Yeah.
Just like all the witches and wizards, like, being exposed. I kind of want to see that story. I want to read that story about...
like
Muggles finding
wizards,
out.
Like, maybe the President of the United States a wizard.
Well,
maybe.
And I want to see how the Muggles react to it, and how they're going to be like, what? Are they going to try to kill the witches and wizards? Which obviously isn't going to work. Because, as you know, as they used to burn witches in the stake, well, there was one witch who would, like, purposely get caught because she put on a spell on herself and it made it tickle. And so she did it, like, I think it was no less than 57 times or something. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they obviously couldn't really... I mean, you could try to, like, shoot them or something, but I feel like witches and wizards can handle that.
Yeah.
Although we've never seen a gun versus wand fight, so I wonder how that would end up.
Yeah. Or a zombie apocalypse versus wizards. That'd be interesting to see, too.
Dumbledore mentions how he hadn't blushed so much since... Madame Pomfrey commented on his earmuffs.
Is there something between them, or is it...
No,
that would be really
Dumbledore's
weird.
Gay, man. You forgot about that.
No way.
Yeah, Dumbledore is gay, so that's... But I thought it was funny because I just pictured Dumbledore with earmuffs on. I think that'd be kind of funny sight to see.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't know that Dumbledore was gay?
Wait. You might have mentioned it not very long time ago.
Yeah, I doubt there's anything going on between them, but I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
I thought it was a funny thing to say. I noticed how all the rumors that they heard were pretty straightforward and true, because McGonagall was like, the rumors are that the Potter boy, the Potters are dead and only their boy has survived, but Voldemort was killed from it, and all of those rumors were true.
Yeah, how would everybody know that fast? It's the morning after, and
yeah, I mean, it was pretty fast, but I thought it was interesting because usually,
rumors are some made up and
rumors
some
are notorious for being fake. So I thought it was interesting how all of them made it through, like the telephone game without getting distorted at all. It was pretty impressive.
That's wizard style right there. So after all this celebration, McGonagall tells Dumbledore, she says, has he really gone? And that's a very good question. You think that more people would think, oh, he's the greatest dark wizard.
Yeah, it is interesting that McGonagall's kind of the only one that realizes that he might be around still, because, honestly, Voldemort has been around for a long time. I guess nobody knows about the Horcruxes yet, but they know that he was really hard to kill, and if one little boy, they all just kind of had faith that one little boy actually killed him. What if, instead, who was the witness?
That's true. Like, how would they know that that's how happened?
Maybe he ran off without killing the boy. I don't know, because there was no body left behind.
Or, like, cut the scar and to frame his death and then come back.
Well, why would he? He wouldn't frame his. Well, obviously he came back.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm surprised that they all kind of just took it for the word that he was dead because some little boy somehow killed him.
Well, I think that's a happy thought, and so their happiness
we'll take it.
Took over their curiosity, and they just like, oh, the Dark Lord's dead, let's just all be happy and rejoice and all that stuff.
Right. Okay, so I noticed that when Dumbledore shows up, and he mentions that Harry will be staying with the Dursleys, McGonagall's like, no, that's impossible. He can't stay here with them. Then why? I always assumed she was sitting there watching to get ready to drop him off. But if she didn't really know and didn't really want him to stay there, why was she watching the Dursleys all day?
And she didn't even really know that Harry had died already anyways. Harry's parents had died.
Yeah, she thought it was a rumor. Like, it's not like Dumbledore went and said, hey, go watch these people to make sure we can leave them there. It seemed to me like she was just watching them, but why? Yeah. Why was she watching them?
I don't know.
If you guys know the answer, let us know.
Yeah. So when Dumbledore pulls out his Star Watch, I'm wondering, can all wizards read that, or just like very knowledgeable wizards?
Oh, it had the planets on it. I thought that was interesting too, and it never really explains that. Like, he never uses it again, I don't think. I thought it was really interesting. I also wondered, because Sirius borrowed the bike to Hagrid, what was the timeline between then and when Sirius was framed?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that question too. I've always wondered that. Like, why did he... Was it right before it? Because I don't think... Did Hagrid ever give Sirius back his bike, or does he still have it?
No, I think Hagrid gave it back, but I still don't know when. It probably says somewhere, and we'll find out when we're reading through. But I can't remember, like, when Sirius was actually framed by Peter. Because I would like to know, because if he borrowed the bike, it obviously hasn't happened yet, because it obviously happens after they're dead. But it just interests me, like, when did Peter frame Sirius? That's true. A good question.
So mine is when Dumbledore says that he has a scar that has...
Of the London Underground on his...
I'm wondering, how did he get that, and where is it, too?
Yeah, that's a really good point, because it's not just like a map, like a magical map. Maybe he got hit by a spell or something. That's really interesting, because obviously that's how Harry got his, and I doubt someone just carved it onto the bottom of his leg.
Yeah. Oh, did it say it on the bottom of his leg?
Oh, I thought it was on his thigh or something like that.
Maybe.
I'm not sure about that, but anyway, he does have a London Underground map on him somewhere, and it's a scar. I always wondered how he got that too, like, who gave it to him. Like, maybe something between Grindelwald and him. I don't know.
I was thinking, so Harry and Hagrid already had a connection before Harry even knew him. I mean, was it because of Lily and James's parents?
Why he was crying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good friends with Hagrid, or was it because he knows that he'll be good friends with Harry in the future?
Yeah, I'm thinking it was mostly because of Lily and James dying, but he also feels for this little baby, basically, and he's like, I don't want to let this baby get in the wrong hands like the Dursleys.
Exactly like the Dursleys.
Yeah, I would never wish that upon anybody. That is very much emotional abuse. It was, like, terrible growing up there, I'm sure. Yeah. But he has also an amazing life that kind of lets him
amazing.
That's a good point. He
gets killed twice. Well, he almost gets killed once, and then gets killed another times, and then come back to life to fight more. Okay,
he didn't have the greatest life. But I think in the end he was pretty happy, and it probably made him appreciate what he had a whole lot more after it was all over. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would almost fight Voldemort just so I had the chance to be a wizard.
Yeah, I would do that. I would do that.
Maybe that's a bad thing to say. I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Tune in next Friday for another Harry Potter reread. We're rereading the book and we're discussing it. Make sure to read chapter 2 before next week and we'll discuss it. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day.